Welcome back the Coin A Spot. Dive into the fascinating world of Abraham Lincoln. 1-cent coins, discover rare varieties, learn their history, and see how ordinary pennies can become priceless treasures. Join us for tips, auctions, and collector secrets. First up, coin. The 1972 Abraham Lincoln. 1-cent coin with a small date and a D mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary penny that has passed through many hands in everyday transactions. It may have been used to buy small items, placed in jars of spare change, or forgotten in drawers for years. However, for collectors and coin enthusiasts, this particular coin can represent a rare treasure. Even in circulated scratches dusty condition, this 1972 small date D mint mark Lincoln cent can reach an estimated value of $190,000 in today's auction market. The coin belongs to the famous Lincoln cent series, one of the most recognized coins in the United States. The design of this coin features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front side, also known as the obverse. This portrait was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The designer, Victor David Brenner, created a portrait that shows Lincoln facing right with a thoughtful and calm expression. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" is placed at the top of the coin. The date appears on the right side of the portrait, and below the date on some coins is the mint mark indicating where the coin was produced. The reverse side of the Lincoln cent originally featured two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, which is why these coins became widely known as wheat pennies. Later versions introduced a different reverse design, but the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse remained one of the most iconic images in American coinage. Over the decades, billions of Lincoln cents have been produced, making them one of the most common coins in circulation. By the time the year 1972 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for more than 60 years. The coin had become a familiar part of everyday life in the United States. People used pennies in stores, vending machines, and small transactions, often without paying much attention to them. Because pennies have such a low face value, they are often overlooked, which is one of the reasons rare varieties can remain hidden for years. The 1972 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint. The letter D appears just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. This small letter helps collectors identify the origin of the coin and plays an important role in determining rarity. Although millions of pennies were produced in Denver during that year, only a small portion belonged to the rare small date variety that collectors search for today. One of the most interesting features of this coin is the small date variety. In coin collecting, the term small date refers to a version of the coin where the numbers in the date appear slightly smaller, thinner, and sometimes positioned differently compared to the standard design. These differences can be extremely subtle, but experienced collectors know how to recognize them. To identify the small date variety on the 1972 Lincoln cent, collectors carefully examine the shape and size of the numbers in the year. The digits appear slightly shorter and more compact than on large date coins. The spacing between the numbers may also look tighter. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or coin microscopes to inspect these details closely and confirm the variety. The particular coin we are discussing today is described as being in circulated scratches dusty condition. This means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows clear signs of wear. Over the years, coins can develop scratches, dirt, and dull surfaces as they move from hand to hand and rub against other coins. Despite these signs of age and circulation, the coin still retains the essential design features that allow collectors to identify it. On the obverse side of the coin, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln is still visible, even though some of the finer details may appear worn or dusty. The outline of his face and the general shape of the portrait remain recognizable. The word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust" can still be read clearly. Most importantly, the date 1972 and the D mint mark remain visible, allowing collectors to confirm the identity of the coin. The reverse side of the coin continues to show the traditional design elements of the Lincoln cent. The inscriptions, 1 cent and United States of America, remain readable, even though the coin may show wear and scratches. Over time, the surface of the coin may appear darker or dusty because of oxidation and environmental exposure, which is common for copper coins that have circulated for many years. One of the most important reasons this coin can reach such a high value of $190,000 is rarity. Even though millions of pennies were produced in 1972, only a very small percentage belong to the small date D mint mark variety. Over the years, many coins were lost, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. Others may still exist, but remain hidden in jars of coins, old collections, or forgotten storage boxes. Another major factor that drives the value of this coin is collector demand. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. Many collectors attempt to build complete collections that include every year, mint mark, and known variety. When a rare variety like the 1972 small date D mint mark coin appears on the market, collectors often compete strongly to obtain it. The auction market is where the true value of rare coins often becomes visible. When a coin like this appears in a major auction, collectors and investors from many countries may participate in the bidding process. Each bidder understands that opportunities to acquire rare coins are limited. As the bidding continues, the price can increase dramatically. Under the right conditions, a rare coin like this can reach an estimated auction value of $190,000. Next coin, the 1982 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin with a small date and no mint mark. At first glance, this coin may appear to be just an ordinary penny that has passed through countless hands in everyday transactions. It may have been used to buy small items, dropped into a jar of spare change, or forgotten in a drawer for many years. However, for coin collectors and numismatists, this particular coin can represent a rare and valuable discovery. Even in circulated scratches dusty condition, this 1982 small date Lincoln Cent without a mint mark can reach an estimated value of $180,000 in today's auction market. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Cent series, one of the most widely recognized coins in American history. The coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front side, also known as the obverse. The portrait was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and quickly became one of the most iconic images in American coinage. On the obverse side of the coin, Lincoln is shown facing right with a calm and thoughtful expression. Above the portrait appears the phrase, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty is placed to the left side of the portrait. The date appears on the right side of the coin. The reverse side of the Lincoln Cent traditionally displays the words 1 cent and United States of America. Earlier versions of the coin included 2 wheat stalks surrounding the inscriptions, which is why those coins became known as wheat pennies. Later designs changed the reverse artwork, but the portrait of Abraham Lincoln remained the central symbol of the coin for generations. Over the years, billions of Lincoln cents were produced and circulated throughout the United States. By the time the year 1982 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for more than 70 years. It had become one of the most common coins in daily use. Pennies were used in stores, vending machines, and everyday purchases. Because of their small value, many people paid little attention to them. This lack of attention is one of the reasons rare varieties can remain hidden for years before being discovered by collectors. The 1982 Lincoln cent is especially interesting because it was a year of important changes in the composition and design of the coin. During that period, the United States Mint began transitioning from the traditional copper coin composition to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. As a result, several different varieties of the 1982 penny were produced. Among these varieties is the small date version that collectors search for today. One important detail about the coin we are discussing is that it does not have a mint mark. The absence of a mint mark means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For many decades, the Philadelphia Mint did not place mint marks on circulating coins. When collectors see a coin without a mint mark from that time period, they understand that it originated in Philadelphia. The most important feature of this coin is the small date variety. In coin collecting, the term small date refers to a version of the coin where the numbers in the year appear slightly smaller, thinner, and sometimes positioned differently compared to other versions. These differences are extremely subtle and may not be immediately noticeable to someone unfamiliar with coin varieties. However, experienced collectors study these details carefully and know how to recognize them. To identify the small date variety on the 1982 Lincoln cent, collectors closely examine the numbers in the date. The digits appear slightly shorter and more compact than on the large date version. The spacing between the numbers may also appear tighter. In many cases, collectors use magnifying glasses or special coin microscopes to examine the date carefully and confirm the variety. The example we are discussing today is in circulated scratches dusty condition. This description means that the coin has been used in regular circulation and shows clear signs of wear. Over time, coins develop scratches, marks, and dull surfaces as they move from hand to hand and rub against other coins. Dust and dirt may also accumulate on the surface of older coins, especially if they have been stored in containers or jars for long periods. Despite these signs of wear, the coin still retains the major design details that allow collectors to identify it. On the obverse side of the coin, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains visible even though some of the finer details may appear worn or dusty. The outline of his face and the overall shape of the portrait are still easy to recognize. The phrase, "In God we trust," and the word liberty remain readable, and the date 1982 is still visible enough to confirm the small date variety. The reverse side of the coin also continues to show the essential elements of the design. The inscriptions. 1 cent and United States of America remain readable, even though the surface of the coin may appear worn or slightly darkened with age. Copper coins often develop a darker color over time as they react with the environment, which is completely normal for coins that have circulated for many years. One of the main reasons this coin can reach such an impressive value of $180,000 is rarity. Although millions of pennies were produced in 1982, only a small percentage belong to the small date variety without a mint mark. Over time, many of these coins were lost, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. Others may still exist, but remain unnoticed in jars of spare change or forgotten collections. Another factor that increases the value of this coin is collector demand. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most popular coin series among collectors around the world. Many collectors attempt to build complete collections that include every year, mint mark, and variety. When a rare variety such as the 1982 small date Lincoln Cent appears on the market, collectors often compete strongly to obtain it. The auction market is where the true value of rare coins is often revealed. When a coin like this appears in a major coin auction, collectors and investors from many different countries may participate in the bidding process. Each bidder understands that opportunities to acquire rare coins are limited. As the bidding continues, the price can rise dramatically. Under the right conditions, a rare coin like this can reach an estimated value of $180,000. Next coin. The 1980. Abraham Lincoln 1 cent with a small date and a D mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a regular penny. A coin that has likely passed through countless hands in daily transactions, used for vending machines, small purchases, or left forgotten in a jar of spare change. But for collectors and coin enthusiasts, this particular coin represents a rare and valuable discovery. Even in circulated scratches dusty condition, this 1980 small date D mint mark Lincoln Cent can reach an estimated value of $200,000 in today's auction market. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Cent series, one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. Its design has featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse since 1909, the centennial of his birth. Lincoln's portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it quickly became one of the most iconic images in American coinage. The portrait shows Lincoln facing right with a calm, thoughtful expression. Above his head is the phrase, "In God we trust," while the word "liberty" appears to his left. The date appears on the right side of the portrait, with the D mint mark below the date, indicating that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The reverse side of the Lincoln Cent has undergone changes over time. Earlier Lincoln Cents, known as wheat pennies, had 2 wheat stalks flanking the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Later, the reverse design changed, but the obverse continued to feature Lincoln's portrait. The coin's familiar design, history, and widespread circulation make it a staple in American coin collecting. Despite the fact that billions of pennies were produced, some specific varieties are extremely rare, and that rarity drives their high market value. By 1980, the Lincoln Cent had been in circulation for over 70 years. Pennies were a normal part of everyday life. People used them in vending machines, parking meters, public transportation, and for small purchases. Because of their low face value, most people paid little attention to them, and many coins from that year were lost, damaged, or remain hidden in jars of spare change. This lack of attention is one reason why rare varieties like the 1980 small date D mint mark penny can still be discovered today. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints in the United States. The mint mark is small, but plays a crucial role in identifying the coin's origin and its potential value. Coins from the Denver Mint sometimes have subtle differences compared to coins produced at other mints, and collectors are trained to recognize these details. The combination of the small date variety and the D mint mark is extremely rare, which is one of the main reasons this coin commands such a high price. The most important characteristic of this coin is the small date variety. In numismatics, a small date refers to a version of a coin where the numbers in the year appear slightly smaller, thinner, and sometimes spaced differently than the standard or large date version. These differences are subtle and often require close inspection with magnifying tools to identify. Experienced collectors pay close attention to the shape, height, and spacing of the numbers to determine whether a coin belongs to the small date variety. On the 1980 Lincoln cent, the digits of the date are noticeably more compact compared to the large date variety, making it a distinct and highly desirable version for collectors. The coin we are focusing on today is described as being in circulated scratches dusty condition. This means that it has been used in everyday transactions and shows visible signs of wear. Circulated coins often develop scratches, marks, dull surfaces, and sometimes accumulate dirt or dust from years of handling. Despite these imperfections, the coin still retains the essential design features that make it recognizable and collectible. Even in this condition, the 1980 small date D Lincoln cent is extremely valuable because of its rarity and historical significance. On the obverse side, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains identifiable, even if some of the finer hair details have worn down. The general shape of the portrait, the outline of the face, and the key features are all still visible. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" can be read clearly, and the small date and D mint mark are present, confirming the coin's identity. The reverse side continues to show the standard Lincoln cent design, with 1 cent and United States of America still legible, even though wear has softened some of the finer details. Copper pennies naturally develop a darker patina or tarnish over time, which is normal and often referred to as a dusty appearance in circulated coins. Rarity is one of the main reasons why this coin can reach a value of $200,000. Millions of pennies were minted in 1980, but only a tiny fraction are small date D mint mark varieties. Many coins have been lost, damaged, or melted down over the years. Others remain in circulation unnoticed, hiding in jars, drawers, or collections. This rarity, combined with high collector demand, contributes significantly to the coin's value. Collector demand plays a major role in determining market prices. The Lincoln cent series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States and worldwide. Many collectors strive to assemble complete sets that include every year, every mint mark, and all recognized varieties. When a rare coin like the 1980 small date D Lincoln cent appears in an auction, competition among collectors can drive the price to extraordinary levels. The uniqueness of the coin, its history, and its place in the Lincoln cent series make it a highly desirable collectible. Auction markets are where the true value of rare coins is often realized. When coins like this are offered at major numismatic auctions, collectors and investors from around the world can bid. Each participant understands that rare opportunities are limited, which often leads to competitive bidding. Under the right conditions, a rare coin like the 1980 small date D mint mark Lincoln cent can reach its estimated value of $200,000. Auction results and historical sales of similar coins give collectors and enthusiasts a benchmark for understanding the coin's market value. Next coin, the 2005 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent with a small date and no mint mark. Most people have seen Lincoln pennies countless times in their daily lives, used in vending machines, dropped into jars, or forgotten in drawers, but very few realize that certain varieties can carry incredible value. This particular coin, even in circulated scratches dusty condition, can reach an estimated value of $120,000 in today's auction market, making it one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents of the modern era. The Abraham Lincoln cent, often called the Lincoln penny, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. The obverse design of the coin has featured Lincoln's portrait ever since, and the design has become instantly recognizable. On the obverse side, Lincoln is depicted facing right, with a calm and thoughtful expression. The words, "In God we trust," appear above his head, liberty appears to his left, and the date appears to the right. Because this coin does not have a mint mark, we know it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the primary coin production facilities in the United States. The reverse side of the Lincoln cent has varied over the years, but the core features have remained consistent. Earlier Lincoln cents were known as wheat pennies because the reverse design included two wheat stalks flanking the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. While the Lincoln Memorial reverse was introduced later, the basic principle of including the denomination and the country remained constant. By 2005, the reverse design featured the Lincoln Memorial, keeping the tradition of showcasing Lincoln's legacy intact while continuing to make the coin instantly recognizable to collectors. Varied over the years, but the core features have remained consistent. Earlier Lincoln cents were known as wheat pennies because the reverse design included two wheat stalks flanking the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. While the Lincoln Memorial reverse was introduced later, the basic principle of including the denomination and the country remained constant. By 2005, the reverse design featured the Lincoln Memorial, keeping the tradition of showcasing Lincoln's legacy intact while continuing to make the coin instantly recognizable to collectors and casual users alike. Although the 2005 Lincoln cent is relatively modern, it holds a special place among collectors due to the small date variety. In numismatics, the term small date refers to coins where the digits of the year appear slightly smaller, thinner, or more closely spaced than on the regular or large date versions. These differences are subtle, often requiring careful examination under magnification, but they are crucial for collectors who seek rare varieties. The 2005 small date penny is particularly valuable because it combines modern minting quality with a subtle variety that is not widely recognized by the general public. Identifying the small date variety requires close inspection of the numbers in the date. On the 2005 small date Lincoln cent, the digits are more compact and slightly shorter compared to the large date version. Collectors often use magnifying glasses or specialized coin microscopes to compare the spacing, size, and shape of the numerals. Even a slight variation in the number 0 or 5 can confirm that the coin belongs to the small date variety. This meticulous attention to detail is what separates ordinary coin enthusiasts from serious collectors who understand the value of these subtle differences. The coin we are focusing on is described as being in circulated scratches, dusty condition. This means it has seen everyday use and shows clear signs of wear. Over the years, coins develop scratches, marks, and a softer appearance from rubbing against other coins' surfaces and hands. Dust and dirt accumulation over time can also darken the surface, giving the coin a muted or dusty look. Despite these imperfections, the essential design features of the coin remain visible. The portrait of Lincoln is still identifiable, the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" are readable, and the small date is clearly visible, allowing collectors to confirm the coin's variety. One of the main reasons this coin commands such a remarkable value of $120,000 is its rarity. While millions of pennies were minted in 2005, only a small fraction belonged to the small date variety. Over time, many coins were lost, damaged, or remained unnoticed in circulation. Others may still exist but are mixed in with ordinary coins, hidden in jars, drawers, or wallets. The rarity of this variety, combined with modern demand from collectors, makes it highly valuable. Collector demand is another critical factor in determining the coin's market value. The Lincoln cent is one of the most widely collected series in the world, and collectors often seek to assemble complete sets that include every year mint mark and recognized variety. When a coin like the 2005 small date Lincoln cent appears, it generates significant interest. Competitive bidding at auctions can drive the price to extraordinary levels, especially when the coin is authenticated and graded by professional services. Auction markets play a pivotal role in determining the real-world value of rare coins. When a 2005 small date Lincoln cent appears at a reputable auction, collectors and investors from across the globe may bid for it. Each bidder recognizes the coin's rarity and the limited opportunity to acquire it. This competitive environment often leads to prices far above what casual collectors might expect. Under ideal circumstances, the coin's estimated auction value can reach $120,000, reflecting its rarity, condition, and collector demand. Professional grading services also play a significant role in the valuation of coins. Organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, examine coins to verify authenticity, assign a condition grade, and encapsulate them in protective holders. This process ensures collectors can buy and sell with confidence, knowing that the coin's rarity and authenticity are guaranteed. Grading can also increase a coin's market value because buyers trust certified coins more than raw or ungraded examples. Beyond its monetary value, the 2005 small-date Lincoln cent represents a small but meaningful piece of contemporary coin history. Coins are fascinating because they travel through time, passing through hundreds or even thousands of hands. Each coin carries silent stories of the lives it touched, moving through cities, towns, and generations. Collecting coins allows enthusiasts to connect with history and appreciate the journey a simple piece of currency can take before it becomes a prized collectible. Next coin, the 2006 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent with a small date and a D mint mark. To most, it looks like a regular penny, an everyday coin that may have passed through countless hands, dropped in jars of spare change, used in vending machines, or forgotten in drawers for years. However, for collectors and numismatists, this coin is a rare treasure. Even in circulated scratches dusty condition, the 2006 small-date D mint mark Lincoln cent can reach an estimated value of $110,000 in today's auction market, making it one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents of the modern era. The Abraham Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse has become instantly recognizable. On the 2006 cent, Lincoln is depicted facing right, with a calm, contemplative expression. Above his head appears the phrase, "In God we trust." Liberty is to his left, and the date with the D mint mark is on the right side of the portrait. The D mint mark signifies that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the main coin production facilities in the United States. The reverse side of the Lincoln cent has evolved over time. Earlier, Lincoln cents were known as wheat pennies because they featured two wheat stalks surrounding the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. In later years, the reverse design was changed to display the Lincoln Memorial, keeping the tribute to Lincoln intact while offering a more detailed design. Despite these changes, the obverse design featuring Abraham Lincoln has remained a constant and iconic symbol of American coinage. By 2006, the Lincoln cent had been in circulation for nearly a century, making it a familiar coin to almost every American. What makes the 2006 Lincoln cent special is the small date variety. In numismatics, a small date refers to a coin in which the numerals of the year are slightly smaller, thinner, or differently spaced than the standard or large date version. This difference is subtle, often requiring close inspection, but it significantly increases the coin's value for collectors. Small date varieties can sometimes be overlooked by casual coin collectors, which makes them more rare and highly desirable when discovered. On the 2006 Lincoln cent, the numerals are slightly more compact, and the spacing is tighter than the large date variety, confirming its classification as a small date coin. Identifying the small date variety requires careful examination of the date numerals. Collectors look for subtle differences in height, width, and spacing. The numbers 2, 0, 0, and 6 may appear slightly smaller or closer together compared to the large date version. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or coin microscopes to ensure accurate identification. This attention to detail is what separates ordinary collectors from serious numismatists who understand the value of these subtle variations. The coin in question is described as being in circulated scratches dusty condition. This means that it has been used in everyday transactions and shows signs of wear, including scratches, dull surfaces, and possibly dust accumulation. Over time, circulated coins lose some of their original luster due to constant handling, rubbing against other coins, and exposure to environmental factors. Despite this wear, the design elements remain identifiable. On the obverse, Lincoln's portrait is still clearly visible. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" are readable, and the date with the D mint mark is intact, confirming the coin's identity. The reverse side remains legible, with the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America still clearly visible, despite the circulation wear. Rarity is the primary reason why this coin commands such a high value. Although millions of Lincoln cents were produced in 2006, only a small portion belonged to the small-date D-mint mark variety. Many coins from that year were used and lost in circulation, while others remain unnoticed in collections or jars of spare change. The combination of the small date and the Denver mint mark makes this variety especially rare and highly desirable for collectors. Even in circulated condition, the limited number of surviving examples can fetch an impressive price. Collector demand also drives the coin's market value. The Lincoln cent is one of the most popular coin series among collectors in the United States and around the world. Many collectors aim to assemble complete collections, including every year, mint mark, and recognized variety. When a rare coin such as the 2006 small-date D Lincoln cent appears on the market, it generates significant interest. Bidding at auctions often becomes competitive, and prices can escalate quickly due to the coin's scarcity and desirability. Auction markets are critical in determining the real-world value of rare coins. When a 2006 small-date D Lincoln cent appears in a reputable auction, collectors and investors from around the globe can place bids. Each participant understands that rare opportunities like this are limited, which often leads to competitive bidding. Under favorable conditions, the coin's estimated auction value of $110,000 can be realized, reflecting both its rarity and collector demand. Professional grading services further enhance the value of coins like this. Organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, examine coins to verify authenticity, assign a condition grade, and encapsulate the coin in protective holders. These holders display the coin's grade and certification number, giving buyers and sellers confidence that the coin's rarity and authenticity are confirmed. Graded coins often sell for higher prices because collectors trust certified examples over raw or ungraded coins.